My name is Kimberley Evans, and I was raised in a Catholic church. In 1997, when I turned 21, I started to lose my family. My father died from a rare brain disease in March, and then 6 months later, my sister was violently murdered by her boyfriend in September of that same year. Then a year and a half later, my mother died of a rare breast cancer at the age of 42. I just stopped talking to God. At 29, I was engaged to a childhood friend who abused me sexually, mentally, physically. And then he murdered my cousin in our living room while me and the girl slept because I was raising my niece and my little sister. I went from a college kid to a single mother of 2 children and no family. Then at 30, I found out I could not have kids of my own. So not only had God taken my family, he had taken my ability to have a family, and he made me an unacceptable choice for a wife. But I began to forgive myself, and then I asked God for forgiveness. And I went back to school. I started writing again. I started doing music again. I got into law school. And then I learned in 2010 that my brother had stage 4 colon cancer. But I persevered. I graduated. I opened my own practice. I walked out on faith. I lost weight. I bought a car. But I was still lonely and I was still empty because I did not have God in my life. So in April of 2018, I walked into Harvest Point, and immediately the music ministry brought me to tears. And Pastor Scott spoke right to my soul, and I had found a church home. I stopped asking God why and started asking God, what? What now? What next? And then October 23rd of 2019, I fell violently ill. And I walked into the hospital and did not walk out for 2 weeks. They had me on end-of-life protocol. My body was shutting down, and I was given 6 months to a year to live. My body began healing itself. And when I left with no prescriptions, no medications, the doctor said, "You have a strong body." And I said, "No, I have a strong God." So I knew then that God took me through all those things to prepare me for what was to come. The loss of my father, to deal with my sister, to be strong enough to handle the loss of my mother, not having children, to be available to raise other people's children. Took me through all of that to be okay with the illness of my brother. All that darkness that God brought me through so that when I was staring death in the face, I could still see his hand. So I may not understand God's plan, but I believe in his plan. And I walk in faith and I walk in his beauty. I try every day to walk in his image. I am perfectly imperfect. So when I falter, God picks me up and he reaches out his hand and he says, "Child, follow me." And I follow him.